Hello and welcome. This is BQ Prime. I'm Agam Vakil, and you're watching the F&O show here, a show in which we take you through what's happening in Indian equity markets and the derivative space. Let's start by taking a look at how indices are moving, and today there has been further up move as far as the Nifty and the Bank Nifty concerned. Nifty, in fact, is currently trending comfortably above the 19,800 mark, whereas the Bank Nifty as well has moved well over about 44,500. And even though it is off days highs, we are still seeing it will sustain about that 44,500 mark, which has been an all-important pivot, so to speak, for many, many months in the past. That said, in terms of what's happening in the futures and options space, options specifically, let's take a look at what are the premiums are telling us. So as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, I'll talk about the Bank Nifty first, since we do have the options expiry, the weekly options expiry today. We see maximum open interest in the 44,700 call and the 44,400 put. So that's a 300-point range we're expecting the Bank Nifty to expire in today's day of trade. Still, this is only an expectation, and you cannot rule out sharp moves on either direction, which could potentially take these levels out. That said, this is the indication. This is what the traders are working with in terms of levels. And of course, we're seeing a little more writing around the 44,500 put. That's because we've seen the Bank Nifty test that level in today's day of trade and then move higher since then. But it's not too far from there. That said, let's also take a look at what the Nifty is doing. And as I've mentioned, it is sitting comfortably about 19,800. That's exactly where your maximum open interest is with respect to calls as well as puts, and that's also where we have seen a substantial amount of addition in open interest. So the 19,800 call, looking at an addition of around 33 lakh shares, and the 19,800 put has seen nearly a crore shares added in OI, and this is of course with respect to tomorrow's expiry. But on that note, let's bring in an expert for today and see what he makes of the market. We have Kunal Shah. He's a senior technical and derivatives analyst at LKP Securities. Kunal, good morning, and thank you so much for joining in. Let's start by taking a look at what you think the markets are expected to do, and also your view on the Nifty going forward.
Good morning, Agam. I think we have seen a very sharp recovery from the lower levels. With all the international tensions what we are having, Nifty has made a very good support at 19,400, 500 mark. My sense is that the kind of momentum what we are building up towards the end of the expiry, we might again even reach surpass 20,000, 20,100 levels as well. So I think it's definitely a buy market. Obviously, the market has risen a lot, so a buy and dip approach would be much more applicable at the current levels. The immediate hurdle for the index on the upside is at 19,900. And once we take out that level, 20,100 will be the next level what we see on the higher end. So Nifty continues to be a buy and dip approach. Specifically, if I talk about today's expiry, Reliance is something which has taken all the support for the Nifty index, and that is where we are seeing continuous momentum from the lower levels as well. Whereas Bank Nifty is concerned, today being the weekly expiry as well, Bank Nifty is likely to be volatile. We are seeing a good range-bound trading session for the Bank Nifty currently, where 44,700 is my resistance and 44,400 is my support. So Bank Nifty is range-bound, but Nifty is something which is looking very strong on the technical charts.
Okay, so Kunal, since you've spoken about the Bank Nifty, for all who may be interested in perhaps taking a bet today, how would you, what would you tell them to do in the Bank Nifty?
See, I think Bank Nifty from the current levels, if we talk about, it's looking as a buy momentum. 44,700, as we mentioned, is a resistance. Currently, it is trading at 44,590 on the spot perspective. So you can clearly see that it could at least go up by more 100 points. So one could initiate some positions on the call side where long positions can be created. So my recommendation would be that at the money, 44,600, where the market is currently trading, you can buy that 44,600 call option at the current market price only. Because even if I look on the technical chart, there is a fresh breakout which has come in the Bank Nifty index. So currently trading somewhere around 63, 60 levels. So one can initiate long positions, keep a stop loss of 30 on the downside, look for targets of 90 to 100 on the upside.
Okay, so well, that's Kunal's recommendation when it comes to today's expiry. potential of a 100-point up move from where it currently stands. That said, let's quickly address what's happening as far as the stock futures is concerned. And well, what I'm tracking in today's day of trade, of course, all the IT companies will be in focus. So you do have TCS right at the top because it will announce its earnings later on in the day. Besides that, Infy is also up around 1%, but perhaps giving some further support, keeping these benchmarks afloat. That said, we do have substantial, strength building in Wipro as well. That's up around 3.8%. So I reckon that it is the IT pack which is keeping benchmarks afloat. That said, we do have good traction in Tata Chemicals and Deepak Nitrite as well. All of them heading higher, along with Aarti Industries also advancing by around 1.8, 1.9%. So possibly seeing longs building in because these counters haven't exactly been the most active over the previous few days, but we are starting to see some traction coming in today's day of trade. That said, Kunal, you did allude to Reliance Industries, and of course I mentioned Deepak Nitrite as well. Can you take us through two of these calls that you have for us today?
So firstly, as you mentioned that Reliance is looking very strong on a technical chart perspective. I think now the further rally, what we see in the Nifty index towards that 20,000, 20,100 mark, Reliance will be a major participant in that. It has been a major underperformer since quite a long time. The momentum indicator RSI has also given us a positive crossover from the oversold territory. So technically, Reliance is poised for a very good move. 2,400 is what I'm looking on the upside for Reliance on an immediate basis. One can look at a support at around 2280, where again we are seeing strong buying by the bulls. Second stock is the Deepak Nitrite. As we have seen in today's trading session specifically, chemicals as a space has been buzzing around, and I think this is a very good opportunity to buy chemical at least for the medium-term perspective as well. And Deepak Nitrite at the current levels augurs a very good buy, where 2050 is now a very strong support for Deepak Nitrite. One could initiate long positions, keep a target of 2,200 on the upside.
Okay, a potential for the Deepak Nitrite to go to 2,200, so keep an eye on that one as well. But for now, the markets are certainly holding on to their key positions and above key levels. And well, we do have two long calls coming in from our expert for today. One in the large cap like Reliance Industries, and the other one in a relatively smaller one, but not small enough. Of course, Deepak Nitrite is also in focus. Kunal Shah, thank you so much for joining in and taking us through your views on the markets. And on that note, we will be signing out for now, but don't go anywhere. There's lots more lined up, so stay tuned to BQ Prime.